Score, Night Glider, A True Love by Switched Outlaw. For the past few months, Night Glider and Rainbow Dash has been pen pals. Rainbow Dash and Night Glider has been meeting each other, and they were actually getting along as good friends, often trying to compete each other with who is the fastest and who's the strongest. And even after that, Rainbow became a Wonderbolt. Night Glider could never be more proud of her friend. But one day, Rainbow Dash received a letter from Night Glider that she is coming over to Cloudsdale for a visit. And she was very surprised that day she was coming over. But she was right back, and she was happy to see her. And a few days later, Night Glider arrives to Cloudsdale. But when she arrives, she didn't see Rainbow Dash anywhere, but she encountered another stallion by the name Score. Score was just by himself, just looking around and training, and Night Glider just flew up to him and asked if he wanted to race. And he looked at her and said, "Are you trying to see, or can you even try to beat me?" And she smiled and said, "Well, one way to find out." And they started. And just after they finished the race, Rainbow Dash appeared, and she saw that Night Glider was spending time with Score, one of the ponies that actually have been bullying her since fillyhood. Rainbow Dash was quite mad and asked Night Glider why she was spending time with Score. And she said to Rainbow that Score has been kind and that he just had a race and that he just won over her. But Rainbow Dash then explained to Night Glider that she should stay away from Score and his friends. They are just bullies. They have been bullying her. But Score explained to Rainbow that he's not that anymore. But Rainbow didn't believe him. Rainbow explained to Night Glider, "We should leave." But Night Glider didn't want to leave because she started liking Score. But Rainbow explained to her that she has booked an arena for them to try for a race. But then Night Glider invited Score to join it for this race. But Rainbow, she was so furious about this idea. But she couldn't even agree with that, but let them go with them. And even at the race, Score was very surprised to see that even Rainbow was still mad at him after all this time. But she could even still not believe that that Score is trying to be friendly. But even he seems to be friendly, but she believes that is just another trick by him. And even just that, already next day, after they did this race, Night Glider had been asked by Rainbow what if they had any particular plan for this day, and since Rainbow said that she has some practice to do with the Wonderbolts, so Night Glider had all day for herself, so she decided to explore around town to see if there's something else to do. And then she encountered Score. And Score was asked if Rainbow was nearby, and she said no, she has some practice. So Score asked if she was hungry, then that they could go to this local restaurant, just grab something to eat. And she was quite hungry herself, so they went there. And when they were sitting there, Score actually explained to Nightglider exactly why that Rainbow doesn't believe him. And she was very surprised that he'd be so honest about this. But afterwards, Rainbow told her all about Score and his friends. So she asked him, "Are you still with your friends?" And all he did was actually shaking his head. It seems that he had broken off his friendship with the others two because they were only bullying Rainbow and others for their pleasure. So Nightglider was even she was proud that he said that, but she was also a bit suspicious. Even that Twilight Rainbow had told Score all about Nightglider, all about Score and his friends, and every detail what he has said to her ever since she was a filly until now. At first, Nightglider didn't want to have anything to do with that if he started bullying Rainbow behind her back. But he promised, and then she actually saw two other stallions walk into the restaurant, and then Score recognized them to be his old friends. They saw him and walked up to him and asked who Nightglider was. And he said that this is friend of Rainbow. Oh, so you're still friends with that one. And Score explained that he is not a friend to Rainbow because she doesn't believe any of what he said to her. Well, after you bully her, I should not surprise. But Nightglider then said, "You two should apologize for Rainbow and stop bullying her. What has she done to you? Have she bullied you over anything?" And Score was just looked at Nightglider in surprise that she actually was so brave to tell him that right in the faces. And both of them were just laughing. But they looked at Score, and he looked back, but he had a serious look. "Are you supporting her?" they asked. And he looked at Nightglider and back to them. "Yes. You two should apologize to Rainbow. I have. But she didn't believe me, but I don't care. I don't mind if she didn't even believe me. But you should do it too." Both his former friends just looked at each other and said, "Huh, do you believe us to do that? She wouldn't even believe us either." "Well, she should try," said Score back. And then both his friends just looked at each other again and laughed. "Well, we won't, because she's funny to bother." But then Nightglider had her fuse blow. "Well, you two should leave now, or I will hurt you two." But she wouldn't. "All right, fine," he said, and they left. But what did he know? Another pony was in the same restaurant, hearing all about what she said and what Score said. And it was actually Rainbow Dash. She wasn't following them. She was there with Spitfire and Soren for lunch. And then they all walked up to Score and Nightglider, and she said, "Are you lying to me during her training?" But Rainbow explained that she had her training and they had taken a break for lunch. And then she looked at Score, first with a serious face, and asked, "What you said, is that all true?" And Score just looked at her and just said, "Yes, all that is true. But my former friends didn't want to explain to you or even say apologize. Well, I don't speak for them, but I speak for myself, and I apologize for all the time I have fallen you." Nightglider were right about you to be suspiciously. And I understand if you don't want to be around her anymore. But before he could finish, I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry that I treated you bad yesterday. But I was still afraid that you would hurt her. But since you to be honestly and seriously about what you said, I apologize and I accept your apology. Friends, and she held out her and he offered his hand and shook his hooves. Friends. And even after all this, Rainbow was still had some suspicions that Score had some secret agenda, but over time it seems to be genuine. He actually didn't have any secret behind her back. And even if Nightlighter were happy to be back home, but Score promised to see her even in her home as often as he could. And they often visit each other as often as they could, even read pen pal also. And only about 5 years later in their relationship, Score visit Nightlighter in her home village. First they had lunch together, and then he actually bring up the big question if she wanted to marry him. And she said yes. She couldn't believe it. And only about 4 months later, they had their wedding in Cloudsdale. At first, Rainbow thought that they wanted to invite his old friends, but even he said they were allowed to him there, but they all had to do something first to apologize to Rainbow, but they never did, so they never came. So in fact, Score has cut all his connections with his former friends, which he was proud of to do. And after this wedding, they actually went to Crystal Empire for their 3 whole weeks honeymoon. Both of them had so very much a great time on the honeymoon, with having a race and going out for dinners almost every night. And then 4 years later, Nightlighter had moved with Score to Cloudsdale, and they even had 2 sons of their own. But only about 4 years after the sons was born, they had a daughter. And that's how Score, Nightlighter, found a true love and got a big family. The end.